welcome back to the TV studio of SEHH Live, where during the week in this studio we have met personalities from Haute Horlogerie, heard their ideas, their visions, looked at their products, and we will do so once more. We have a presentation by Maison Gégère-Lecoultre, which is going to be given by the Deputy CEO, Geoffroy Lefebvre. Welcome.
Thank you, Bruno. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our friends watching us on SIHH Live. 2018 marks a very particular year for La Grande Maison. It's a year where we're celebrating two very important events for us. First, it marks the 185th anniversary of Gégère-Lecoultre. And on this occasion, we will launch a new campaign that we chose to call Made of Makers. We are one of the most integrated manufacturers in watchmaking. And when you visit our manufacturer in Le Sentier, the emotion that you get is absolutely unique. Of course, we'd love everyone to come and visit the manufacturer. So this new campaign is an invitation to live this emotion of the discovery of Gégère-Lecoultre. We want to pay tribute to the passion for innovation and to the expertise of all of our makers. Our first maker actually was our founder, Antoine Lecoultre, who believed that the only way to push the boundaries of watchmaking was to gather all the know-hows under one single roof. Antoine Lecoultre really embodied the spirit of the maker. He was an inventor, he was a designer, he was a producer. He even created his own groundbreaking tools because what was existing at the time didn't offer him enough precision. And this has been the driving force for the past 185 years of our history, marked with innovations, both in mechanics and in design, which have entered the Hall of Fame of watchmaking. 185 years later, here we are. The passion that was transmitted from watchmaker to watchmaker for generations is still what allows us to make the most beautiful timepieces, the combination of quality, technique, and style that is the signature of Gégère-Lecoultre.
In the wilds of a valley lost in the mountains lies a secret place. On the surface, all is calm. But when you look inside, you'll find another world. This is our manufacture, where we are united under a single roof. Since 1833, we invent, make, and assemble each and every one of our watches. Every new day, we embark on a new adventure. If something is said to be impossible, we will do it. Here, the first millionometer was invented, a gift to watchmaking which ushered in a new era of precision. We created over 1,200 mechanical calibers. We came close to the dream of perpetual motion. We imagined a reversible watch that became an icon. Through our inventions, we push back the limits of watchmaking. Every single watch we make is unique because we put our hearts in it. Because we are makers. Gégère-Lecoultre.
With Made of Makers, we pay tribute to the men and women who have and who still make Gégère-Lecoultre such a unique company. The maker spirit transcends watchmaking, and we're proud also to partner with Casa Fagliano, which is a fifth-generation Argentinian maker of polo boots, who is present on our booth at SIHH this week and has been sharing our values for several years now. Our presence at La Mostra and at the Shanghai Film Festival are also a testimony to our proximity with the world and the universe of filmmakers. And talking about what we make, 2018 also marks the 50th anniversary of the Memovox Polaris, a fantastic diver's watch, pioneer in its time with the famous Memovox underwater alarm function. The Memovox Polaris was more than a diver's watch. It was a tool for the men in motion, for the ones who lived their lives to the fullest. It was truly a cult design, an unmistakable piece of Jaeger-LeCoultre DNA that gave us our inspiration for this year. The tool watch for every day, for exploring, for driving, for traveling, for diving, for the men in motions, the ones who achieve more, the makers of today. The strong codes of the original Memovox Polaris resonate as a tribute to this legend. A contemporary edge has been added to this new timepiece in the purest tradition of fine watchmaking. A white glass box opens to a very legible dial and provides the distinctive profile for this timepiece. The typical off-centered pair of crowns commands not only the setting of time, but also an inner bezel, which is a signature of the original Polaris. The case enhances the sporty and masculine character of this watch with a dual finishing that highlights the tensions of these lines. And the short, rounded, and curved lugs allow for greater ergonomics for a watch that sits perfectly on the wrist. Speaking of divers watches, let's now go more in depth. Since our beginning, all of Jaeger-LeCoultre's watches have been equipped with Jaeger calibers, and the Polaris is no exception. This piece is a new reinterpretation of Jaeger-LeCoultre's expertise in fine watchmaking. A blackened tungsten oscillating weight reinforces the sporty design of the movement. The hand-applied indexes, numerals, and the Jaeger-LeCoultre logo reflect the attention to detail, the incredible effort that's been made to provide perceived value on this piece and highlight the impeccable level of finishing. The large hands, the numerals, the indexes feature a luminescent coating for perfect legibility in the dark and the visible signature of the Polaris. 4 straps have been specifically designed for this new collection. First of all, a new steel bracelet with polished and brushed finishes. Then a calf leather strap for the vintage look of the piece. An alligator strap for more business attire. And the calf leather and alligator are instantly interchangeable using our Presto system. And finally, a rubber strap, true to the diving spirit of Memovox Polaris. Instead of simply reinterpreting the historical watch, we chose this year, in tribute to this 50th anniversary, to introduce a complete line of 5 models, all of them automatic, to express the elegant sport spirit of Jaeger-LeCoultre. First, the automatic, which features the purity of the line and states one very simple message: simple is back. 41 millimeters, a black or blue dial, the legendary Polaris readability, open case back, yet 100-meter water resistance, available on leather or steel, a perfect contemporary reinterpretation of the historical timepiece. The chronograph in 42 millimeters is offered with the very pure 2-counter configuration of the manufacturer chronograph caliber 751, and for the first case back of the new Jaeger-LeCoultre Polaris. There again, available on black and blue dial, on leather, and on steel, up to the pink gold version with a slate dial. The talking piece, the Memovox, is the downright heir to the 1968 Memovox Polaris, with its 42 millimeter case, its glass box, now in sapphire, and its vanilla SLN. Closed case back like the original to feature the underwater alarm function. The Clou de Paris rubber strap is a perfect reinterpretation of the Trieste strap that was present on the piece in 1968, and the diving heritage, waterproof at 200 meters. And this watch is a limited edition at 1,000 pieces. The auto date shares the same vintage design codes as the Memovox, with a closed case back and the unmistakable black dial, excluding the alarm. And finally, the well-timed chronograph, the traveler's choice by excellence, is available in black or blue dial on calfskin leather. Jaeger-LeCoultre Polaris is the versatile watch by definition and by excellence, featuring functions and complications of everyday use with an unmistakable Jaeger-LeCoultre design and adaptable style that will respond to the most demanding man in motion of the 21st century. Thank you for your attention.
Mr. Lefebvre, impressive series of watches.
Thank you very much.
How we are towards the end of the SHH 2018. How was the salon for Jaeger-LeCoultre?
The Salon was a great edition this year in 2018. We were very proud, of course, to present Polaris. We were very proud to unveil the Made of Makers campaign through a completely new booth where we put the maker spirit back on the center of the stage. We had our friends from Casa Fagliano. Of course, we had our watchmakers, among which Christian Laurent, who's the head of the high-end and high specialties watchmaking workshop, who's been with us for 46 years. So when we talk about makers, you know, people, they don't want invented stories, made-up stories. A person who spends 46 years of his life dedicated to the Maison is really authentic.
And how was the launch of the Polaris received?
Very well, both by our retailers, of course, but by the press, the bloggers, huge feedback on Instagram. Everyone loves this piece. You know, they've waited many, many years for it to come back on the center of the stage. It's deep down to the core Jaeger-LeCoultre, and people are loving it.
Congratulations. Let's see if anyone who has joined us here in the studio has a question for Mr. Lefebvre. If so, just raise your hand. We're going to bring you a microphone. No question is off limits. Not the case. Everything was so clear and crystal, limpid, clear. Yes? Indeed, it is an alert, but I don't think that this is for us.
We have to evacuate.
Exactly. So, thank you. Congratulations again.
Thank you, Bruno.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure. Thank you very much.
And this ends our SCHH Live studio program for the week of SCHH 2018. We have had 27 sessions in this studio, talking with main characters of Haute Horlogerie, seeing their products, hearing their stories, their visions. It was an amazing week. I hope it was so for everybody. Thank you for those who have been watching online. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye. See you next year. Thank you. Merci beaucoup.